I'm planning to go fly tomorrow, and I thought I would show the assembly of Aerotech motor I'm planning to use. It's a 38 millimeter I327 dark matter. You can see it here. I'm planning to fly in my LOC IV from Precision and with dual deploy here. This is the rocket I've flown. I call it Creamsicle, the orange and white color, and I've gotten my level 1 and level 2 on this rocket, so it's kind of special to me. So let's just go through the assembly of this motor, and well, let's see how it goes. I've already opened it up and laid everything out here. We have our O-rings. This is down here, part of the aft assembly on this end, and up here we have our forward assembly with the charge delay grains, and here is the tube, and here is our motor with the grains inside already. So that's the way it already came. So first we'll put some grease on the O-rings. Small amount. Now this, the thin one, goes in the forward seal disc. So I'm just going to snap that on there. It goes around there like that. And we'll put that together later. Now what I can do is just put together the delay grain. Make sure I get the grease off my fingers. And here's a casing for the delay grain. And I'll just put that in there. That in pretty easily. And then there's a little spacer, tiny guy, that also goes in the delay grain like that. There like that. So there's the delay grain in its spacer, and then spacer inside the casing, and then we'll take the forward delay spacer and put that inside our delay grain assembly. And next goes the O-ring. And followed by the delay grain. It doesn't hurt to put a little bit of grease maybe around that to maybe help with removal afterwards. Put a little grease inside there, inside the assembly, and then the delay grain should just go in like that. Spacer facing out. Okay. So I'll go ahead and put my rocket grains inside the casing. And the seal disc should go in the end of the motors, the motor casing, like that. put a little more grease on these rings here. This screw rings. Quite tighten that up yet. I'll just hold that there. And on the bottom, we should have the aft insulator. It should go in the bottom right there. Aft in. Ring. And the nozzle should fit right down in underneath that O-ring inside. Takes a little bit, but it popped in. Again, I'll put a little grease on the threads, actually. Just a little bit around there. The aft closure. Okay, so that should be assembled like that. We could put the black powder in for the ejection charge, and I'll do that before flight. And one other thing is I could, if I wanted to change the delay, which was 14 seconds, I could have changed that with a delay drilling tool. But since I'm flying dual deploy, I'm only going to use this 14 seconds on the delay as a backup charge. And that motor should be ready to go for flying tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be the next part of the video.
Lock 4, Precision LOC IV, going on Aerotech I327 dark matter. We have continuity going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, range is open for recovery. And loading on the middle row.
Okay, here's the rocket. We had no main deploy. So it looks like the It looks like the charge went off, but it didn't pop out. Well, what's the damage? There's a little damage there. The fin is a little cracked here. A little off. Well, and we're cracked here as well. So that's kind of a shame. We'll have to do some repair. I thought we'd do a post-mortem of the rocket flight that took place. Well, now it's like a couple weeks ago, but and what happened in the rocket flight of my creamsicle rocket that was carrying the I327 motor. And as I mentioned, as it showed at the launch, the nose cone failed to deploy. Probably because there could have not been enough charge, though that amount of charge has worked before, and the parachute may have been packed a little tight. I noticed that when I was launching it, and maybe these break-off nylon screws, breakaway screws, were maybe a little too tight. So I might fly these a little looser, and again make sure the parachute's not a little looser. Now, as for the rocket, the damage is not as bad as I first feared. It looks like I was able to straighten out the fin that took most of the hit, took the main brunt of the hit, and it's a little loose, but it's still together. I think what I'm going to do, and then up here there was some damage. I think it's just cosmetic. It doesn't seem to be any damage to the tube around where the camera shroud was. So I think if I just sand this guy down again, and then I'm going to just redo all the fillets on all the fins, and because they could use a little touching up, I think, and some of them, and just redo these fillets and repaint it, and hopefully it'll just be good to go again. The payload tube did take a little hit as well right here. I think inside what I'll do is I'll put maybe a little sheet of fiberglass and just reinforce the inside of the payload tube, and that should do it. So little repair work to be done, but not as bad as it appeared at first glance. Alright.